Some marriages do not begin with fear. They begin with admiration. They begin with people clapping, ululating, blessing a union they believe will last forever. They begin with smiles that look sincere and promises that sound permanent. And slowly, so slowly a woman barely notices, the admiration turns into expectation. The expectation into rules, the rules into silence. Chiamaka did not enter marriage broken. She entered hopeful. And hope, when placed in the wrong hands, can become a weapon. Abba never whispered. The city welcomed them with noise and movement, the kind that made it impossible to hide. Music spilled from speakers. Women gathered in clusters, laughing loudly, assessing freely. Men stood with drinks in hand, discussing success, lineage, power. Abina walked into the compound like a man returning home victorious. His shoulders were squared, his steps confident, hands reached for his in greeting. Chiamaka followed him. Not beside him. Behind. She noticed the distance immediately, the way his stride never slowed to match hers. She adjusted her steps, but he did not notice, or did not care. Eyes found her quickly. Some were curious, some were impressed, some were measuring. That's Abina's wife. She's educated. She looks calm. Calm. They always said calm when they meant careful. An elderly uncle waved her over, his face warm with genuine curiosity. "My daughter, welcome," he said. "What do you do?" It was a simple question. The kind she had answered countless times. "I'm a school teacher," Chiamaka replied. "I teach primary too." She smiled as she said it, proud in the quiet way of people who do not boast but know their worth. Abina laughed. The sound sliced through the air. "Why do you talk like that?" he asked. Conversation around them thinned. People leaned in without realizing they were leaning. "Talk like how?" Chiamaka asked, confused. "As if you don't know how these things sound," he said, still smiling. "Standing here announcing it like that." Her chest tightened. "I was just answering." "Keep quiet," he snapped. "Not every question needs your voice." Silence fell. Not respectful silence. Curious silence. Someone laughed nervously. Another person looked away. The uncle shifted, suddenly uncomfortable. Heat rushed to Chiamaka's face. She felt it in her ears, her neck, her chest. Her hands trembled slightly, but she clasped them together and lowered her eyes. In that moment, something inside her cracked. It was not the first time Abina had corrected her, but it was the first time he had done it publicly, deliberately, effortlessly, without remorse. She understood then that her education did not threaten him. Her confidence did. For the rest of the gathering, she spoke only when spoken to. She smiled when expected. She nodded when addressed. She became what everyone admired. A beautiful, quiet wife. Later, Abina wrapped an arm around her waist for photographs. He praised her cooking loudly. He introduced her proudly. The performance was perfect. Only Chiamaka knew how expensive it had been back in Orca. The house did not change. But Chiamaka did. She became careful. She learned Abina's moods with the precision of a teacher studying her pupils. The way his jaw tightened when irritated. The way his silence stretched when anger brewed. The way laughter meant temporary safety. She adjusted herself accordingly. She spoke less. She laughed softer. She apologized faster, even when she was not wrong. At school, she stood before children and taught them confidence. "Speak clearly," she told them. "Raise your hand. Your voice matters." They listened to her, trusted her, thrived under her guidance. At home, her voice felt like a liability. Silence became her protection. Then her body changed. The nausea came first, then dizziness, then a missed cycle that refused to be ignored. When she told Abina, his joy was loud and uncontained. "My child," he exclaimed, "my lineage." For weeks, the house softened. Food was brought to her room. Relatives smiled approvingly. Neighbors congratulated her. Even Abina's voice gentled. But the gentleness came with conditions. Don't go out too much. Don't argue. Don't stress me. For the baby's sake. Chiamaka obeyed. She told herself this was love. She told herself it would pass. It didn't. Uchechi arrived on a rainy morning. Small, perfect, crying loudly enough to remind Chiamaka she was alive. Chiamaka wept when she held her, overwhelmed by a love that felt fierce and protective. Abina smiled, but briefly. When Chitsuba arrived 2 years later, the house cooled. Another girl. No celebration followed, no loud joy, just a quiet disappointment that seeped into everything. 2 girls, Abina muttered one night. Still, that word stayed. Still. He began coming home later, drinking more, speaking with less patience. When Chiamaka asked gentle questions, he twisted them. Are you monitoring me? Do you think I answer to you? Arguments ended with gifts, gold chains, bracelets, perfumes, never apologies. The gifts carried a clear message: accept this and stay quiet. To outsiders, Chiamaka looked pampered, envied. Inside, she was shrinking. The night clarity arrived did not begin dramatically. It began with tension, the kind that sat heavy in the air and refused to leave. Abina paced, argued loudly on the phone, drank. The walls seemed to absorb his anger. Chiamaka stayed quiet. She had learned how. When she offered him water, his anger found her. You couldn't even give me a son, he said. The words struck deeper than she expected. Then his fist slammed into the wall beside her face. The sound echoed. Dust fell. He did not touch her. But he didn't need to. Fear filled the space between them, thick and undeniable. In that moment, something settled inside her with terrifying clarity. If it could hit the wall today, it could hit her tomorrow. She thought of her daughters upstairs, sleeping, trusting, innocent. That night, Chiamaka packed. Slowly, quietly, carefully, no tears, no confrontation. When the gate opened, she paused, not in doubt, but in resolve. She stepped forward without looking back. Not as a failure. As a mother choosing life. Some cages are beautiful, that is why women stay inside them. This was not the end of Chiamaka's story. It was the moment she chose herself.